Did you know the most important causes of climate change are the greenhouse gas emission, deforestation, and the usage of soil fertilizers? Or did you know agriculture generates about a fifth of the world's greenhouse gas emissions? Did you know the main cause of deforestation is because they convert that land into cropland and pasture, mostly for growing crops or raising livestock to meet daily needs? Or did you know climate change affects people's health? It affects the complex natural processes, sea level rises, between a lot of more different problems. Did you know only half of Colombian homes have both parents? And finally, did you know one of the most important reasons of people divorcing is because they feel trapped in the routine, which in a lot of cases leads to having affairs? I bet you didn't know that. This is why we came up with a very simple solution, Yummy to Home, a service where we send the best instructors to your house so you can have a different and bonding experience with your family. You're going to bake with your family different healthy and sustainable products. Plus, we're going to prepare some amazing activities for you guys. With these activities, parents are going to redeem themselves with their kids with an amazing afternoon. They will have the opportunity to get out of the routine and spend a wonderful afternoon with their kids and learn from them. The social component is going to represent a barrier to future competitors. We're going to gain confidence from our customers by having experienced and rated instructors. This is going to be an advantage for us thinking about our competitors.
Regarding the traction of the product, we made several prototype models. First, we make a fake door prototype in which we made a website in order to see how people interact with our proposal. The results of the first prototype were enough for being able to understand that we were entering into an interesting theme with a lot of possibilities. After several discussions and meetings with Rafael, we transformed our project into the service we present in the solution in the slide before by Camilo. In order to test that, we decided to take a sample group, which involved the individuals we needed. In our case, families with which had little kids. The results of the experience were the ones we were looking for. Kids liked the experience and gave us important feedback. This feedback was taken into account for the creation of the app. Also, it was brought to us important information regarding the cost and the things we needed. This could be considered our basis for testing and concluding several of the necessary steps in our project. After the experiment with the kids, we decided to correct some of the feedback that they gave us by designing another fake door prototype. In this case, we made an app which is going to be explained by Laura. And this app was like the biggest step in our presentation and our project itself, because it's the one that shows how people can really interact if they like the service, and it's really curious how they use and could interact with it in a form it can help us making free advertisement and also helping them by having a better service. For the things we need from our investors, and considering the numbers we're going to show you in the next slides, which are going to be presented by Johan, we're going to ask for 200 million pesos for the 20% of our company. We believe this is an appropriate amount because it isn't a crazy amount for someone who believes in our constant process and working protocol, and also takes into account our three pillars, which are product, people, and process. This money will be useful for making sure that the company starts working and having a profitable operation. This is a guarantee for the investors and for our project, which could be in some regard our future job. This is certainly the best use of the money, because it's the only way in which we could impulse and start to generate money, like by starting the production of the actual product. And this money will generate even more money in the long run, which means this could help us achieve our goal and grab an important part of the market, which is going to be explained by Johan.
We are going to focus in Bogota market. So according to the data, the population in Bogota it's around 7.2 million people. 67.9 of this percentage is composed by households between 1 and 3 people. Then the other 32.1%, that is 2.3 million people, represents our CAM. According to Luis Aurelio Diaz, families in Bogota have an average of 1.2 children. So households with children represent 568,000. Therefore, that is our COEM. So for the first years, we will be at 20% of the market, which indicates our beach market. So our beach market it's around 113,000 homes. So we will charge 25,000 for each child, which includes the materials, 3 hours of activities while the child is making the products, and the final consumption of the cookies and cupcakes. We hope that the buyer pays that price, since beyond paying for the product, he's paying for the experience of having quality time with his children and spaces of integration with the family. Based on our empirical evidence, that shows that the buyer will not pay more money for the product because of the nature of this one. So it's a good value, since a price can be paid comfortably without frustration for the market segmentation where it's focused. In the activity, the children will do 12 cookies that has a cost for us of 22.6 thousand pesos, or 16 muffins that cost for us 20.1 thousand pesos. The buyer decides if he wants to make muffins, cookies, or both. The amount per child in the activity it's 3 to 4 servings. So the cost of the worker will be 80,000 pesos for 3 activities. That indicates that the cost per activity will be about 42 to 49,000 pesos depending on the product. So the value per child for the activity will be 25,000 pesos minimum for children with the activity. So that will give us a amount of 100,000 pesos minimum per activity. So the profit per show it goes about 50,000 pesos to 57,000 pesos. If we do 40 shows per month, we got a minimum profit of 2 million pesos, and the maximum can be 2.3 million pesos of profit. If we do that in a year, we will earn 27.5 million pesos free. In 3 years, we will have more than 81 million in profit. That will be our LTV.
With the aim of approaching our potential consumers with more tangible proposals, we decided to develop the prototype of the Yomi to Home app. We developed a game as a form of sustainability of long-term entrepreneurship and movement generation through the same project, in order to sustain feedback, learning, and involvement. So the idea is that families face a weekly challenge that tests and encourages family teamwork and dialogue with simple materials together at home. We will notify them the instructions of the challenge they will have to overcome, so that they have to record afterwards and upload to their social networks, tagging Join to Home. In this game, 5 categories of Yukai show octalysis were fundamentally work for a successful game that hooks people. Development and accomplishment is the internal drive of developing skills and eventually overcoming challenges. This is the essence of the activity. Epic meaning, making a player believe that he is doing something important, like helping to create things for the community. Developing the part of creating challenges that are proposed for other families to enrich and diversify the challenges. Social influence. This drive incorporates social elements that drive people, including acceptance, social responsiveness, as well as competition, aspect reflected in the competitions that take place between families, and the joy of showing people on social networks how they have fun as a family. Unpredictability. Generally, This is harmless drive of wanting to find out what it will happen next. We will apply it in random rewards when they arrive at the trophy station and generate expectation about what the next challenge will be. Loss and avoidance. This core drive is based upon the avoidance of something negative happening, like losing the previous work. Evidence in the points that families begins to lose by being inactive in the development of challenges, so that a continuous activity development is sought. Our team members, Juan Fernando Fuentes, his main skill is having a critical thinking, which helps him to analyze the problem and by doing so being able to give solutions to the team. This helps him make the process easier and better in some regard. Camilo Acevedo, his skill is to analyze if the propositions are viable in order to have the most complete solutions and insights. He is continuously thinking on the best possible ways to improve the project we are working on. Johan Aguilar, his main skill is to be able to manage the necessary networks to be able to have an optimal development without any setback, and also to ease the development of social relationships to make a diversified network of key people. This may help to keep everything related to the raw material, application and transportation personnel under control. Laura Lara, my main skill is the perseverance in the development of the objectives of the project, since the ventures have a great component of trial and error. Ability supported by seeking different points of view to modify proposals if necessary. In this way, our skills are also complemented by an interdisciplinary team of knowledge focused on business administration, economics, psychology, and political science that generate different perspectives.